Welcome back, everybody, to 31 1990s horror movies for Halloween, where I'm counting down my favorite horror movies from the 1990s. At number 21, we've got a Troma film on this list, and that is Terror Firmer.
This is your brain!
Dude, my brain!
Last year, I wanted so bad to put The Toxic Avenger on my list, but I've never really viewed The Toxic Avenger as a full-blown horror movie. I view The Toxic Avenger, it is bloody as hell, but I never viewed it as a horror movie. I viewed it as an over-the-top, comedic, gory superhero movie. The Toxic Avenger is one of those movies that, isn't really a horror movie, but it's been adopted by the horror genre because what other genre would have it? But I feel good putting Terror Firmer on this list today because that way we have a Troma film on the list. I did a trash review of Terror Firmer not too long ago, so I'll try not to repeat myself too much here, but I'll end up probably repeating myself. I love this movie. It's a love letter to not only Troma films, but to independent film in general.
Ah, what the heck? Shoot the scene anyway. We don't need sound.
Larry, the next scene is Sergeant Kabuki Man delivering the Gettysburg Address.
Well, scratch that. Let's go to that wild party scene. Yeah, that's it. I can see it now.
I love supporting independent movies, especially low to no budget independent movies. I mean, no budget independent films I enjoy praising, that's why I do trash reviews. But anyway, moving on from that, we need independent films in our lives, because that's what gives us some interesting stuff. I don't like to trash mainstream films, because it does give us a lot of stuff, but especially nowadays with mainstream studios pumping out the same shit over and over and over again, it gets stale after a while. We need the independent filmmakers to give us originality, to keep originality alive, to not be afraid to push the envelope in some very uncomfortable ways.
The perversions must end. Family values must be saved.
No! This is a Troma movie!
Now, this is a Troma movie, so it's going to have the Troma tropes. You're going to have bad taste humor, you're going to have a lot of blood, you're going to have a lot of nudity. But Terror Firmer is one of those movies that makes fun of everybody. And I think if you're going to make fun of people, you should make fun of everybody. Don't just single out one group. Make fun of everyone, because when you make fun of everybody, that can bring more people together. When you single out one group, you're being an asshole. When you're making fun of everybody, you're bringing more people together through offense. So, Terror Firmer is about the making of an independent movie and all the chaos that goes on behind the scenes of making an independent movie. But the problem is there's a serial killer on set going around murdering people. The kills in this are so over the top, and there's a lot of nudity in this flick, so there's a lot that I can't show on YouTube. And there is a lot of bad taste humor, but there's a difference between good bad taste and bad taste, and Terror Firmer is an example of good bad taste. But yes, this movie is about all the chaos that goes on when making an independent movie, everything that can go wrong with making an independent movie, making a movie with little money and little resources. It's taken to an insane extreme, but, it's done with love, of course.
Okay? Let's get to work!
And I love the fact that this movie is not afraid to go there. There's this line in the movie that I think is a very important line that everybody should hear.
It's this chaos from which the best shit emerges, Casey.
How can you like this offensive garbage anyway?
Because it is offensive. Look, sometimes pissing people off is the only way to get them to look at shit.
That is an important part of cinema. Sometimes when making a movie, you should be ready to punch people in their comfort zone, because sometimes that's the only way to get them to pay attention to things. But again, there's a difference between being in bad taste and being an asshole. And Troma films, I think, find a good balance in doing bad taste. For me, Troma and John Waters were some of the best filmmakers who knew how to do things in bad taste. They were experts in good bad taste. This being a Troma film, it's not for everybody because it does go there in certain aspects. The acting is a little hokey, but, you know, these people are doing things in an independent way. There is a lot of raunchy humor in this. There's a lot of shit jokes, a lot of fart jokes, and you do have a lot, like I said, a lot of nudity. Not just female nudity, you get some male nudity in here as well, so there's something for everybody. It is at its core a slasher movie, just a very raunchy slasher movie, but it's a unique slasher movie given the way it was made.
Bitch, that's my left leg! Leave that leg alone!
Terra Firma is one of my all-time favorite Troma movies. It's up there with The Toxic Avenger. I know I'm gonna get some flack for this, but I actually like it more than Class of Nukem High, and I know a lot of people love the Class of Nukem High, but I like Terra Firma a little more because it really goes there with its idea. So, yes, Terra Firma. I'm glad I could get a Troma movie on the list this year. It's not for everybody, so I don't know if I can recommend everybody check this out for Halloween, but if you are a Troma fan, you've more than likely already seen it. So, Troma fans unite. Let's give Terra Firma some love this Halloween season.
Fire!